Hello, everybody, and welcome to Acrisure Stadium in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Yinzer Nation, loud and proud in the home opener as the Seattle Seahawks, led by quarterback Sam Darnold, head into the Steel City, ready to take on number 8, Aaron Rodgers, wearing the black and gold at age 40. Pittsburgh, with a shaky start to their season, looking bad last week under Mason Rudolph. 14-17 loss on the road against Justin Fields, the former Steeler, and the New York Football Jets. And as for Seattle, a terrific Week 1 win over a divisional opponent in the San Francisco 49ers, a 24-10 victory at home. And they have a treacherous task on hand today, all the way across the continental United States, looking to take on a really, really good defense in the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we are looking forward to it here as Chris Boswell gets us started. And we are underway from Acrisure Stadium. Seattle on the return up to the 26-yard line, and that is where Sam Darnold will get to business. 14-3 record last year with the Minnesota Vikings, and he's looking to keep his career up high and elevate that to the postseason as well as possible. What up, SM, Santor, you, Silver Knight, John Zeller, Games, LaShawn, everybody else joining me throughout. Here we go. Darnold going to open up here on 1st and 10 with a handoff up the middle to Kenneth Walker. And he is met up front by the big fellas. Cameron Hayward, the veteran, makes the tackle on the initial end. Pittsburgh now looking at a different defense with the addition of Darius Slay. And perhaps a little bit more of a different look in the defensive backfield, with Juan Thornhill, the former Brown, joining as there's Walker up the middle. T.J. Watt gives him a little shoulder check after a gain of just about 6 full yards. Seattle, though, offensively not too different, other than Cooper Kupp, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, and Elijah Oreo on the tight end side of things. Jalen Milroe, of course, the backup now for the Seattle Seahawks, who face a 3rd and 4 here. Cooper Kupp in press coverage. Sam Darnold being chased out of the pocket. Had to fire that one away. A good stop for Pittsburgh. Alex Highsmith off the edge. Yeah, this tandem in the black and gold, a dangerous duo/trio, if you will. Aren't always on the same field at the same time, but T.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, Nick Herbig, Cam Hayward, Keanu Benton, all the big fellas doing all the work. And an early punt here for Seattle. Michael Dixon will get this away. And the Steelers will have the football from their own 27-yard line, and out trots Aaron Rodgers. First drive as a Pittsburgh Steeler. What up, Anthony Clark? What up, Retro? What up, Scribble? Is there truly a worse franchise than the Pittsburgh Steelers? I could probably name 30, historically speaking. Maybe even 31, if we really want to go there. What up, Laugh? And here is Aaron Rodgers in the black and gold. His first pass as a Steeler, going downfield and connecting immediately with his tight end, Pat Freiermuth. Muth moving the chains for the first time today. Steelers have an opening play, first down. Rodgers looking sharp as always. What on Mocha PCP? Rooting for the Hawks today. Pick'em is a surprising seismic wave, 25-11 in favor of Seattle. Lots of love for the Hawks here in week number 2, and why not after all the hype they brought in week 1 with their victory. Rodgers stepping up, looking to escape, and he finds a yard. That body doesn't move like it used to. Still somehow a minimal dual threat quarterback. A-Rod is not going to hand BT out of the Browns. Let's be honest. He's old. 9-8 incoming. 2 receivers left and right here for Rodgers. 4-man rush coming by Seattle. And a wide open at the top of the screen. That is Cordell Patterson. Unk up top that time with a 5-yard pickup. The rookie will have to wait to see the field again. Had a rough week number 1. Pittsburgh constantly backed up inside their own 10-yard line. Defense was doing their job, just a little bit too late for the offense's liking. Took nearly an entire half before Pittsburgh got on the board. Inside of 2 minutes there in the second quarter. Muth is in motion here, and Rodgers will find his tight end across midfield with first down yardage. His second catch today. into Seattle territory, and Pittsburgh threatening early. Rodgers really trying to be the next George Blonda, and he might be. Give up your left arm for the Browns, go 9-8. No. The Super Bowl, yeah, but no. 4 targets out here to pick out, and instead it's going to be Cordell Patterson up the middle. And he was being chased from behind there. Never caught up with, and that'll wind up a 7-yard pickup. Feels weird with no fantasy players today. I know. Felt like I was forgetting something. I remember the pick'em shift today, but yeah, no fantasy. Take a little break from it. 2nd and 3. Patterson going to act as a receiver. Check down, though. Going right back to the bell cow at tight end. It is Freiermuth again. 3rd catch, 3rd first down reception. What up, Flash Gordon? Rodgers as a Steeler should prove interesting. More interesting than the Jets. I think so, too, actually. I would have to agree with that statement. Steelers threatening on Aaron Rodgers' opening drive. Here for the Steelers. He'll fire this one complete to his running back again. It is Cordell Patterson. Where in the world has Jaylen Warren been today? What up, Cardinals Sid? Cards Panthers. I think that's going to be my return stream. It's going to be next Monday. I got about a week out, unfortunately, so uploads and streams are going to be very on and off, but I will confirm that date after this play real quick. This time, Jaylen Warren checks in, and the RPO is going left side, right back to guess who? Back Freiermuth with a marker down. And this one might be coming back for a legal man downfield, as is usually the case with most RPOs in Madden 25. Hopefully that gets fixed a bit in the coming months. Let me double check the week 2 schedule. Yeah, we're off tomorrow, back for Rams Titans on Tuesday. Battle of undefeated teams will be taking place very shortly as Rodgers is dumped down to the backfield, taken down by Tyrese Knight. And a loss of 6 yards there on the first big play out of the Seattle defense. What up, Dojin Tai? If Darnold works out, JSN could be a nice fantasy value pick. I think so, too. Cooper Kupp is the guy I'm staying away from, though, in fantasy. I don't know how much he's going to produce. Going to be very interesting. He might get picked 1st round and 3rd round in many leagues this year. We'll see. Seahawks showing blitz again here. 5 on the line. That's how many they bring. Here comes an extra blitzer off the edge, and it gets home. And that is Devin Witherspoon. Rodgers stepping to his strong side, only to meet the cornerback in Seattle. What up, JJJ? 100% on GTA 4 last night. That's a throwback. McVay doesn't want you anymore, neither do I. Yeah, that might end up being the case. Not going to lie. They will punt. How about that? Not enough faith in Boswell here. A little bit windy in Pittsburgh this afternoon. And so Cameron Johnston on for the punt. And this is an absolute beauty, but it goes into the end zone for the touchback. Thought for a second there we had the ultimate pin just a bit inside the pylon. Neither team coming away with points on their opening drive, looking a lot like week 1 for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they are okay with having a close game down the stretch, especially with a clutch quarterback now in Aaron Rodgers. No more Mason Rudolph to worry about. Joey Porter Jr. working on Cooper Kupp up top. That might end up being a mismatch. Here's JSN fighting forward. It'll pick up 9. Minkah Fitzpatrick on the tackle. Talk about the Pittsburgh defense. Derek Harmon, Cam Hayward, Keanu Benton, Yaya Black, TJ Watt, Patrick Queen, Peyton Wilson, Alex Highsmith, Darius Slay, Joey Porter Jr., Beanie Bishop Jr., Deshaun Elliott, and Minkah Fitzpatrick make up the starting defense. Been the best defense in the NFL on average. Time and time again. Here's the direct snap to Kenneth Walker, catching Pittsburgh off guard. And the first down today for Seattle is a gain of 13. I'm loving these direct snap, double passes. More creativity out of Madden is exactly what we need. Cooper Kupp, forgot about him, yeah. Moving on from the LA Rams, trying to make a name for himself with another divisional rival. That's a 6-yard pickup again. Kenneth Walker chipping away. And Peyton Wilson, the NC State Wolfpackman. Actually, not. How do you even singular noun the Wolfpack? Would he be just considered a wolf then? I feel like that has to be That's such a weird thing. Like, you're thinking about, I don't know, if your team's the Cubs, right? The former Cub. How do you say the former Pac-Man? That's weird. Seattle, though, looking to get across midfield for the first time today. Off the play action, left side pass going to JSN up the sideline. And Darnold getting into rhythm. Games with a $5 dono. Got to head out for now. May be able to pop back in soon, but go Seahawks. Boost Steelers 68-3. Seahawks win. Appreciate the $5, my friend. And yeah, we'll see what happens when you come back. Hopefully there are some more points on the board than when you left. Other than that, though, I have no idea who I even have to win this game. So we'll see what happens. Looking like it could be a rush here for Kenneth Walker. And it will be left side right into the grasp of Cam Hayward, who's stiff-armed. And Walker is going to lose 10 after all of that. Well, he fought away from the veteran. But there was nowhere to go but backward by the end of that one. That was a seriously interesting play there. Ends up as a loss of 10. Backing up Seattle to a 2nd and 20. Little pump and a hitch, and that's going to wind up another incompletion. More pressure up the middle from this Pittsburgh front four. And again, I think that was Cam Hayward. Wow. Game's up to $69 donated all time. Shout out to him. Yinzer Nation on their feet here for the home opener. It is 3rd and 20. Darnold running for his life, and he is sacked by Alex Highsmith. Disastrous last couple of plays. 4th and 31 coming up for Seattle. And both teams kind of play themselves out of field goal range. That is a tough selling. The bench press, are we really hitting that in the first quarter of a tie game? Why not? This is funny. Michael Dixon looking to do what Cameron Johnston couldn't, and that is pin his opponent inside the 20-yard line. Returnable from about the 13 up to exactly the 20. For Calvin Austin the third, here comes Aaron Rodgers on his second drive. First one ended up just outside of field goal range thanks to back-to-back Seattle sacks. We'll see what happens here, though. Darnold seeing ghosts. He's seeing more than that. Those are not ghosts. Ghosts do not hit that hard. Maybe eventually, though. Still scoreless here. Just about 9 full minutes into the first quarter. Rodgers looking to change that. Off his back foot, fires toward the sideline. And Cordell Patterson collects that. Going to be ending up a loss of 1. I don't know why Madden puts Cordell Patterson in the game so much. Again, that's something that's supposedly going to change in Madden 26 with more precise player roles. So Patterson's going to be more of a utility player. And likes to Taysom Hill as well. Should be an interesting change there. Loss of 1 for Patterson. Rodgers out of the backfield. Going to find DK Metcalf. His first catch today is a first down, gain of 11. Up to the 30. What up, Noah Harry? Let's be honest, it won't. Yeah, you're right. Why am I getting my hopes up for an EA Sports game? You are absolutely correct, my friend. Rodgers now from the empty on what should be the final play of the opening quarter, and an anticlimactic one at that. Rodgers, though, looking to get some excitement heading into the second 10 minutes with a check down to Calvin Austin the third. Scoreless at the end of 1 for the second week in a row for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jalen Warren standing at the 30-yard line, awaiting a handoff here up the middle. Taking over running back 1 rolls now that Najee Harris over in L.A. And he only finds the yard there on the rush up the middle. Pittsburgh has not really had a run game since Le'Veon Bell, who was hypothetically considering coming back. Him and Antonio Brown have been lured back by Aaron Rodgers. Would be a lot of unks on the football field. See if they go right back to Jalen Warren here on a 3rd and 1. Freiermuth in motion, handoff to Warren. Good blocking out in front, and he will move the chains. Tyrese Knight with a tackle, had a pick last week on Brock Purdy. A defense that only gave up 10 points to San Francisco. That is a team that has really struggled. 0-2 early on this year. What up, the board anime gamer? I'm using Madden 26 updated Peace Control Ghosties. Man in motion here is Calvin Austin on the jet sweep, and that's going to work out for a gain of just 2. Well read there up the middle. by DeMarcus Lawrence. That is the former Dallas Cowboy, who was looking to make a big name for himself. Run down the Seattle defense real quick. Leonard Williams, Jerron Reed, Byron Murphy, Jonathan Akins, DeMarcus Lawrence, Tyrese Knight, Ernest Jones, Uchenna, and Wosu, Josh Jove, Rick Wool, and Devin Witherspoon at corner, and Kobe Bryant and Julian Love at safety. And there is a nice catch for Robert Woods, another former player from out south in the LA Rams, or out west, I should say. What of the mock draft guy? Let's go. DK Metcalf in press coverage, only the one catch for 11 yards, but a handoff here is to Patterson, and he is sat down, a loss of 4. Nobody giving any blocks up front to a single running back today. Kenneth Walker having a battle for everything, and every running back on Pittsburgh can say the same story. But a very quiet opening quarter. Both offenses looking to get going. 2nd and 14 now for Rodgers. Down the middle, finds his tight end, Pat Freiermuth again. That has been his security blanket. Might be his Allen Lazard outside of Green Bay or New York. We'll see. No turnovers, no points yet. Just punts and a couple of sacks. These highlights are going to be low lights. Should be in field goal range at the bare minimum, though. Rodgers looking for more. Pocket collapsing, and he goes downfield. Finds Robert Woods inside the red zone. And Pittsburgh starting to heat up offensively. Robert Woods and Cooper Kupp reuniting on opposing teams. Quite far apart from each other now. Both used to play for the Rams. Woods trying to become a reliable wide receiver, 2 in Pittsburgh. Inside handoff to Jalen Warren. Rodgers faking the read option there. And to absolutely nobody's surprise, not a single Seahawk was full. I respect it, though. That's a fair shout. I think it was like 3 sacks. There hasn't been that many, but a lot of TFLs, too. Seahawks now with their heels near the end zone. Looking to make a stop inside their own 20-yard line. Rodgers with a 3-step drop, sets his feet, fires this one down the middle. And Muth is working hard right now. 5 catches today. And 3 first down receptions as well, as Pittsburgh moves inside the 10-yard line. Pending a turnover, we should have our first points here, no matter the outcome of this play. Seahawks trying to limit how much they give up here. Points are a rarity in week number 2. Rodgers will check this one down and move the chains again. It's Robert Woods. Pittsburgh setting up a 1st and goal at the 5-yard line. Sure, the Steelers will be good, but I don't know about a Super Bowl favorite. They won't even be close. Their odds didn't even change when they picked up Rodgers. Playoff break team, in my opinion. Fullback in the game here as Rodgers off the play action, going to fire back corner of the end zone, and DK Metcalf collects that one for the opening points in week 2. Finally scoring. There you have it. Just like last week, Pittsburgh waiting until the 2nd quarter for either team to score. DK Metcalf with his first touchdown as a Steeler. I think that's his first one. Rodgers gets his first, Metcalf gets his first. It is a new-looking team in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Well, we speak of first touchdowns, and now we got new experiences. The unfortunate news I came home to today, Nick Chubb is signing with the Houston Texans. That is devastating. Extra point on the way and good for Chris Boswell. Steelers go 14 plays in 6 minutes and 12 seconds. That is a march and a half. Terrible towels are waving. There is no doubt about that. There's the rookie Jalen Milroe, by the way. In the event that Sam Darnold goes down, Alabama Crimson Tide alumni will be taking over the reins at QB1. Steelers will probably just go one and done again. I mean, I don't know. I think their expectations a little bit lower. At least I think it should be. We'll see what happens, though. Seattle back to it on the offensive end. Looking to match Pittsburgh's result. Tackle made at the 26-yard line, and Darnold back to it. Would love some extra protection up front. has seen a couple of sacks. At the bare minimum, a lot of pressure on most of his dropbacks today. Thinking of 9-8, they'll be happy always. That's all you need. 9-8 every single week. Press coverage up top this time. Darius Slay giving work. Darnold will fire this one complete to Cooper Kupp, and there's his first catch of week number 2. Had that deep touchdown against San Francisco that really put the game out of reach in the second quarter. On a 3rd and 15, this is a Seattle team that has thrived on 3rd and long this year. See if they can keep it up. If they even find themselves in that situation, they will try to avoid it here, though. 2nd and 5 handoff is to Kenneth Walker. He'll pick up 3 of the needed 5 up to the 35-yard line. Kenneth Walker, Zach Charbonnet, JSN, Cooper Kupp, MVS, Noah Fant, and Elijah Arroyo making up the offense for Seattle. Looking to crack this 37 here. Needing about just a yard and a half. Darnold from the pistol. On a 3rd and 2. Off the bootleg. Looking to fire this one deep downfield. How about a little underhand pitch to his tight end, Noah Fant? The creativity is endless. More of that. Dare I say that looked a little Mahomey. Up to the 41. Don't know that I've ever seen that before. The shovel pass, indeed, you're right. What up, Cali Jack? Doesn't matter how you get the first down. All about getting the first down. Kenneth Walker working towards another one. 2 in a row for Seattle. Into Pittsburgh territory. Big O on the pass. Fill out your bingo sheets. But I don't like that either. Yeah, I mean, it's NFL Network reported that once he passes his physical, he'll sign with them officially, but it is what it is. Couple of extra big bodies up there on a 1st and 10, inside of 3 to go in the remaining half, and off the edge, Alex Highsmith reinstating that menacing tackling. Just like Marab last night. Man, is he unstoppable for my UFC fans in chat. Not sure anyone in that weight division will take his belt for a couple of years at least. 2nd and 9. Darnold going to hand off to Walker. A lot better. Blocking up front this time. Minka Fitzpatrick makes the tackle at the 39-yard line. 3rd and 3 coming up. Would have loved to see him pair with Swift in Chicago. I think him and Joe Mixon will make for an interesting duo in Houston, actually. But they have pretty much given up on Dameon Pierce. As we have hit the 2-minute warning from Acrisure Stadium. Steelers hanging on to a 7-0 lead in beloved Pittsburgh fashion. Trying to make another 3rd down stand here. On 3rd and 3 from the 39. Darnold being pressured, trying not to get sacked out of range again. He'll step up and take off, and he's got room to work with inside the red zone. For a second there, looked like it was going backward 10 yards. Keanu Benton and Cam Hayward didn't have the angle. And so Darnold puts the weight on his shoulders and does it himself. Big play there. 1st and 10 now inside the red zone. First appearance here for Seattle. Watt giving chase, forces the incompletion, and registers his first QB hit of week 2. I don't think Houston will be any more scary with Chubb, to be honest with you. They were already way too good offensively. Didn't want Chubb in Chicago because my Kyle Mononga shares would hate it. That is fair. Steelers looking to blitz 5 here. On 2nd and 10, and they will. It's a delayed blitzer, though. Picked up for the moment and intercepted. Picked off by Joey Porter Jr., and Cooper Kupp makes the tackle. Wow. You could barely even see that happen. There it is, though. One other team in the red zone is forcing turnovers time and time again. JPJ basically had the ball thrown to him. An errant pass there from Sam Darnold. Boy, that was bad. You can't really tell how bad the INT is on these close sideline throws because of the camera angle, but guess we found out there because of the replay. Yikes. Madden makes Darnold way too fast. He might be. The speedster, though. Rodgers now in the 2-minute drill. Looking to double up the Pittsburgh lead before halftime. Throws on the run, and Metcalf tried to hang that one in with one hand. And he ends up with a drop for showing off. Who's going to be better than this year between these two teams? I think they are in very similar situations, especially at quarterback. Kind of feed off of each other in some weird way. Rodgers now from under center on 2nd and 10. Going to pick out Darnell Washington this time, the backup tight end, up to the 28. And a first down is secured by Pittsburgh. No Donald Parham Jr., I should say. Not sure how much he would fit into this offense. He is out for the year. Jonnu Smith and Kyle Pitts on the radar for Pittsburgh. Trying to make at least one more move for Aaron Rodgers before the season starts. Here's Metcalf, hit hard, backwards actually. And he is given forward progress that time up to the 34. Pittsburgh takes their first time out with 58 seconds to go in the second quarter. Yeah, I feel like Seattle, you bring in a different quarterback from a different team, and you also draft a rookie. You see which one of the two can boost your team the best. Pittsburgh, of course, has the advantage of that star-studded defense. Rodgers has plenty of time to fire, and he'll step up and pick up two. And now neither team really thinking about a timeout here. Seattle doesn't want to give Pittsburgh a chance to figure out a first down play, and the Steelers don't want to give Seattle the ball back if they don't convert. So time is going to tick away here for a little bit. Pittsburgh looking for their 5th third down conversion of the afternoon, and they will find it again. For the 4th time, it's Freiermuth. And now Pittsburgh will gladly take their second timeout. Tomlin over Mike McDonald is a pretty smart decision. However, that Seattle defense is only going to look better. Mike McDonald did crazy good things in Baltimore as their defensive coordinator prior to his hiring in Seattle. Some say he left a little bit too early, although Seattle didn't have quite a bad year last year as Rodgers steps up and right into a sack taken down by DeMarcus Lawrence. There's the former Cowboy, and that is why the Seahawks brought him in. Final timeout taken by Pittsburgh. 2nd 14 coming up. Oof. All about the defense in half number 1. Seattle trying to chase Pittsburgh off the field here. Rodgers stepping up in the pocket again. Fires this one incomplete. Knew the half would be over if he ran the football. And that should be grounding 10 out of 10 times. However, Madden never took the time to correctly code a subjective decision. And instead, they made it terribly inconsistent. Throwaway sets up a 3rd and 14, though. Rodgers trying to pick somebody out across midfield. Instead, he is sacked again. Number 4 for Seattle. And that is Uchenna Nwosu. Giving chase, the linebacker, with a big-time tackle. 4th and 23. Yeah, not a great day for the offensive lines. But these are two great defensive lines, to be fair. Cameron Johnston on for the punt here. Looking to just not give Seattle a chance to return. They'll have one, though. Terrific kick, returnable from the 25. And only about a yard on the return. So Darnold and Seattle with no points on the board through a full half of football. That is the first time that has happened all year, even though we had 8-minute quarters last week and 10 this week. First time that's happened all season long. Into victory formation, but far from victory. Seattle heads into halftime down 7-0 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. And we are going to jump straight in to half number 2. Pittsburgh receiving the opening 3rd quarter kickoff. Yeah, we got the Titans and Rams coming up here on Tuesday night, taking it tomorrow off. I work another late night tomorrow night, so consider it a noon stream, but I think because I'm going to miss a lot of time coming up here, going to take tomorrow off. Back with you on Tuesday, and then we are not back again until the following Monday. So a lot of downtime to catch up on highlights and everything else if you miss some games. Plenty of season to go, though. during the summer. Return out to the 28-yard line, and half number 2 is officially underway. Aaron Rodgers back under center. Looking to get going here offensively. Rims over Titans, it's a fair shot. I think that's what majority of people picked. Titans home opener, though. Cam Ward got going in garbage time in that 35-17 loss against Denver. Rodgers going to find an open target. Calvin Austin a little bit behind him there. Rodgers over 150 yards passing on his first completion of the second half. Very, very quiet first half for both teams. Pittsburgh forces the INT in the red zone to maintain that touchdown lead via DK Metcalf. The only two major events in the opening 20 minutes here. Rodgers up the play action, sets his feet with a marker down. This is caught by Warren, but likely coming back for a legal man downfield. And once again, Pittsburgh flagged. Zach Frazier. That was the correct call. He was about further downfield than Jalen Warren, actually. He could have caught the screen pass, to be honest with you. 5-yard loss, though. Pittsburgh going the wrong direction for the second time today, thanks to a penalty. Rodgers this time well protected, still had to fire that away. That is a huge defensive backfield performance from Seattle. Got the late pressure up the middle there. That was Jerron Reed giving chase. Caleb Johnson should have a good year. I think so. Pittsburgh would like to see a little bit more of him. Limited in his carries last week. Rodgers here going to fire this one downfield, and a diving catch made by the tight end once more at the 48-yard line. Muth is putting on a show here when nobody else wants to go out and play football. Him and Rodgers, man, looking like prime Jordy Nelson out there. What a pass and a remarkable catch. Keeps the drive moving for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Jalen Warren hits an open seam and finds his first down in a while. Up to the 41-yard line. Steelers threatening to take a 2-score lead. Just simulating our refs' decision making, yeah. If the refs could manage clock too, that'd be great. Happens though. A light underneath of this Pittsburgh offense. Rodgers going to find Metcalf on the crosser, staying upright, and he is tucked away at the 26. 15-yard pickup. Kobe Bryant with the tackle. You wear number 8, your name's Kobe Bryant. I mean, the writing's on the wall, right? It can't not be. His mother and father knew what they were doing. 3 consecutive first downs for Pittsburgh. Rodgers off the play action again. He'll check this one down off the helmet, almost intercepted. Calvin Austin had to play defensive back there. That was nearly a heroic interception. Would have turned the tides of this one into quite the different ocean, but here we go. Into a 2nd and 10 at the 26. What's up, Dakota? Momentum is stalled for the moment. 2nd and 10. Rodgers, though, right back through the air. Deep drop back. And now stepping up in the pocket, the old man showing off the wheels into the red zone. A pickup of 7. Would have been a very embarrassing INC. Going for Pittsburgh in this one, off to a, dare I say, early lead. Because it took them a while. No scoring until the second quarter. Steeler defense dominating as usual. Looking to pitch the first shutout of 2025. Handoff this to Warren up the middle. Finds a tight window and secures first down yardage. Inside the 15-yard line, Pittsburgh's opening drive is going very well. Their first touchdown drive, they took over 6 minutes on 14 plays, a diligent ending to that one. Looking for a similar result. 3.5 minutes gone by on this drive, though. Just about half as much as their previous scoring one, which resulted in the hands of DK Metcalf. Rodgers stepping up again, taking off, and A-Rod picking up 8. I mean, there's no way this guy runs this much next year. I refuse to believe it. Witherspoon, not a superstar, is crazy. Maybe last year. Warren, Caleb Johnson should do wonders this season for Pittsburgh. He should be all right. Cordell Patterson, though, in the game. On 2nd and 2, Rodgers going to step up and do it himself with the dive. The 40-year-old man doing snow angels in the end zone. Wow. And who says the old fella does not have the gear still shifted? A little bit rusty, put some WD-40 on it, and let him do the rest. Yeah, I'm not really sure how often that's going to happen. The mobility monster, is that what we're calling him now? Maybe that was part of his darkness retreat. Who knows? Extra point on the way, and good for Chris Boswell. What up, A-Rod? NBA stars would rather watch a 6-hour tennis match in France than Game 2 of the NBA Finals. Oh, 100%. That tennis match, though, was the greatest of all time. That is not even a joke or like an overstatement either. That was, without a doubt, the greatest tennis match ever played. Still, though, I had to work through it, unfortunately. Couldn't watch it. Couldn't watch the Portugal and Spain game either today. It's cool, though. Boswell on for the kickoff. Seattle will maintain possession. Down another touchdown. Got to get going offensively, and why not start with your special teams up to the 40-yard line? Finally whistled down. Good return, though. Rodgers definitely playing on PCP today. Oh, 100%. Get that man a drug test. Get him something. Test his urine. 5:46 to go in the third quarter. Almost at the midway point already. This has been a rather quick stream. Boswell over Tucker. Honestly, when it's all said and done, it might actually be a good argument all time. Opening drive of the third quarter for Seattle. Still yet to score today. Cooper Kupp looking to get going offensively. Shut down to just a gain of 3. There's Beanie Bishop, a UDFA last year, who just shined. Best UDFA pickup of 2024, no doubt about that. Rodgers is 41, wow. Darnold back under center, making an adjustment at the line here. Another bootleg pass stepping into this one. Check down, caught by JSN. Slammed down by Alex Highsmith. And maybe him and Rodgers both going to have some tests done after this game. That is another big hit. Had a lot of those today. Another big play coming up here. 3rd and short scenario for Seattle once again. Handoff is to Walker up the middle, moving defenders across midfield. Chains are moved in the process. Peyton Wilson found a dump truck wearing number 9 in the middle of the A-gap that time around. Stood no chance. 27 people in chat. Glad to have you guys joining me here for another terrific game. Drop a like if you have not yet already. Shooting for 17. Former Viking from under center again off the play action. Seeking the opening points today for Seattle. Finds Noah Fant near field goal range though. Looking a little bit better in half number 2. What did Mike McDonald tell the players at halftime? On the offensive end, that is something that they got to get going. Can't blame the defense for giving up 14 points at this point in the game. You're simply never going to win a football game scoring 0 points. Walker again, though, with another breakaway handoff, and that's a gain of 8. Inside the 35-yard line, Seattle looking to bring us back within a touchdown. Old McDonald, I think Mike McDonald actually might be the youngest coach in the NFL. That's not a joke either. Hawks pick up another 1st and 10. Steelers bringing pressure here, and it's going to get to Kenneth Walker. Catapulted backward, a loss of 1, and guess who? Alex Highsmith. McDarnold, not McDonald, yeah. McDarnold, that could actually be a legitimate thing if they become good. Might have prophesized something. JPJ on Cooper Kupp again. And so far, Porter has been winning that battle. This time, though, wide open Noah Fant inside the red zone. And JPJ saves the touchdown. Not a defensive back within 5 yards of Noah Fant. A part of that Russ trade back in 2022. And he sets up 1st and goal. just about where Darnold threw that red zone interception. Looking for a different result here. Quick passes out there, and nearly the same result. Would have been a pick six for Darius Slay. Steelers almost had the win right there. To no avail. Fit underrated, I would agree. Fantastic play. There it is. Sam Darnold gets away with one there. Should have been his second interception. Right back through the air, though. Showing no fear to the end zone. It is hauled in for the touchdown. And Seattle back within a score. Elijah Arroyo. And there is the rookie tight end, Elijah Arroyo, with his first catch and first touchdown at the same time. Thought for a second that was Jake Bobo. Wasn't going to say anything just in case, and I was correct. How about that? Pick six would have sealed it, but instead, here we go. Back within a score. Jason Myers on for the extra point. And the lead is cut in half. Finally, the offenses have woken up in the third quarter. Back-to-back touchdown drives in Pittsburgh. Steelers 14, Seahawks 7, 2:16 to go in the third quarter. I'm ready for another chaotic fourth quarter full of ridiculously high scoring numbers. This game, though, kind of feels like it could be an exception. For those of you that have been with me all week long, you know how chaotic these fourth quarters have become. Cowboys put up 17 in the fourth. Bears put up 22. And they combined for 36, actually. And the upset win for Chicago. Some games, though, have not taken prisoner to the hype. Browns and Ravens combining for just 3 points in the fourth quarter. Best fourth quarter was Vikings-Bears. I actually agree with you there. A lot of people might think, Bears-Lions was better than that, which is fair, especially if you're a Bears fan. I understand. But I enjoy that fourth quarter comeback a lot more by Minnesota. Personally, of course. Big drive coming up here for Pittsburgh. Blitz coming, picked up again, outside pass, and there is Freiermuth. One of the hardest names to say as a commentator, I must admit. Your mouth does not want to make the R sound twice in a row with half a syllable in between, let me tell you. English failing me, as always. 2nd and 5, Aaron Rodgers right back to it. Through the air will find his target. Across the 40-yard line, again, it's Robert Woods. 9-yard pickup. Pats Dolphins, that's another good one. I knew I was forgetting something, yeah. I edited that a couple of nights ago. Actually, it would have been yesterday morning, technically. It was like 3 a.m. when I got done editing that and Niners Saints. Darnell Washington and Freiermuth in here as the handoff is to Jalen Warren shooting out of a cannon. And he'll pick up 6 yards on the quick acceleration out of the backfield. It's a Catholic saying Fryer second nature. That is hilarious. Yeah, I got back from work at like 12:30. Listen, editing, it ain't that difficult. It's cool. Final minute of the third quarter. And the handoff is to Cordero Patterson trying to cut across the face of the field. And he is hammered down at the stripe. No such luck into enemy territory just yet. Appreciate it, Dakota. The grind don't stop, fellas. Not in the summer. That's what I got the other 9 months to rest for. Massive play here, though. 3rd and 2. Seattle trying to get off the field with the stop. Rodgers going to pick out a wide open Calvin Austin, though. And the drive will progress. Any of your coworkers watch your streams? I don't think any. Well, I think 1 or 2 of my coworkers knows about my channel as a whole. None of which have actually popped up in chat or said anything, though. A couple people in college do. As Rodgers will get the snap away here. Handoff is to Warren. And dragging defenders with them to the 38. And dragging us to the fourth quarter. Pittsburgh and Seattle exchanging touchdowns in the third. Making the score 14-7 with 10 to go in regulation. Got to get the live poll going here in a minute. Fourth quarter is officially underway with the snap taken by Rodgers. 4-man rush. And again, finds DK Metcalf. Another check down, first down for Pittsburgh. I'm actually curious to see this poll. of who wins in week 2. Seahawks, Steelers, or of course the world famous, well-renowned tie. Let me know what you got. Another extra big man out there. On first and 10, outside handoff is to Jalen Warren up the sideline into the red zone as well. Out at the 15. Just can't get a pick him right this year. It is brutal. You and everybody else, let me tell you. I even had a 3-game winning streak, and then that got let down by San Francisco. So, ties have happened, yes. Ball up to the 15-yard line. Patterson gets the handoff and a big tackle made by DeMarcus Lawrence. Loss of 1. Yeah, back when I used to do 6-minute quarters, we would average probably 1 or 2 ties this season. Haven't had one since, I think, week 1 of last year, though. Been a while. Good leverage play there by Seattle. Looking to do it again, and they will do so. That time, Ernest Jones, the former Ram, shuts down Jalen Warren. Brings up a 3rd and 10. Watch this interception. That would swing momentum massively. Rodgers to Metcalf's going to be tough to stop week 1, 100%. Huge play here on 3rd and 10. Another chance for a Seattle stop. Quick passes out there and knocked away out of the hands of Metcalf. Incomplete. Forgot this is actually his revenge game. Been so focused on Aaron Rodgers and Darnold and Cooper Kupp that I completely forgot DK Metcalf legitimately is playing in a revenge game right now. 32-yard chip shot here for Chris Boswell. One of the best in the business, knocks it through. Jared Verse also very underrated. Good pull. He won Defensive Rookie of the Year last year, didn't he? Believe so. Wow, the pickup is actually, or the poll I should say, live poll very close here. 4 votes for Seattle, 5 for Pittsburgh, and 1 for Ty. I like it. We don't usually have too close of live polls because most games tend to favor one team over another. For the most part. He did? Yeah, he earned it too. Seattle on the return. Defense does their job. Can their offense respond? With a scoring drive here needing at least a field goal. Would prefer a touchdown with 8:08 to go in the 4th quarter. And if Sam Darnold was an 8:08, he would be one of those recent Instagram audios that makes your phone sound like it's going to explode. He has not looked good today. Plain and simple, the 1 interception, taken a couple of sacks today. Got to use his dual threat ability just a little bit more. Big drive coming up here, though, and not off to a great start. Peyton Wilson beats Kenneth Walker for a 2-yard gain. That time up to the 34. Browns and Jags look dangerous this season. I would agree to disagree. Those two teams might be last and last for me personally. 5 on the line of scrimmage for Pittsburgh, and a linebacker drops. Darnold down the field, finds JSN. That'll gain 7 yards on the crosser. What's up, Nathan Manco? Jags look dangerous. I don't know, man. It all comes down to what Lawrence can do. Kind of had a down year last year. 3rd and a very short yard here for Seattle. Hand up is to Walker. Got a great seam up the middle. Breaks a tackle across the stripe. A huge carry for the former Michigan State Spartan. The K-9 Legacy game in Ann Arbor. Actually, that game was in East Lansing. One of the best games I've ever had the pleasure of witnessing in college football. Once again, a big momentum swing favoring Seattle. Darnold looking for another KO punch here. Checked out, caught by JSN. Tried to give a little stutter step there to Beanie Bishop, who fell as no prisoner whatsoever. What about screwed up clips? Yeah, I do not think the Jags look dangerous. Change it down to 15 minutes. Change CPU sliders to get average scoring games. Yeah, 15 minutes, though, just takes a while for my streaming side of things, but have done it in the past. 2nd and 5. Pittsburgh rushing 4 once again. Darnold running for his life. Barely gets away from PQ and Patrick Queen right there. That was dangerous. What up, Sid? So were you? Oh, no, you were here actually at the beginning. My apologies. Probably listening again from work. Time is ticking for Seattle. Got to score quick. On the cusp of field goal range would probably be a fourth down going scenario. Darnold, though, deep down the field on third down, and a hospital ball delivered. Incomplete. MVS gets his first target, and I bet he wishes he didn't. That was a brutal pass downfield from Sam Darnold. And they will do so. Rather than attempt a 59-yarder, Seattle going to go on 4th and 5. Pocket collapsing. Darnold delivers complete this time to Marquez Valdes-Scantling. Drive is alive, and so is Seattle at the 34 Pittsburgh. I think Bryce Young will do great things in Carolina. I, for one, believe in him. Everybody gave up on him. Not I. Cooper Kupp once again in press coverage. Niners tried that a lot last week, and they paid the price. Darnold downfield delivers a low pass complete, though. And this is Jake Bobo. There he is. Had a disgusting touchdown catch that really let the NFL know his name. Get a PS5 for my birthday, save the money. Let's go. Good stuff, Nathan. At the midway point of the fourth quarter, Darnold and the Seahawks knocking on the doorstep of the end zone, and they will find it here. Jackson Smith-Njigba pulls us within 4. What up, J.D. Prods? What a time for a touchdown toss right there. Lots of Buckeyes shining bright here in Pittsburgh. And here's another one. Hasn't seen the football too much today. Makes a huge play in the fourth quarter. And add to the chaos of the fourth quarters this week. That'll be a 3-point game pending a a Jason Myers extra point. 4:56 to go. Myers on for the PAT. Up and good. Steelers again with their lead starting to dwindle in front of them. This is the exact score they lost by last week to the New York Jets, who essentially walked them off at home. JSN so underrated. He cooked the Browns back in 2023. He had the game-winning touchdown and everything. That was a disappointing loss for us. Defense stinks. They've been actually very good today. Forced a big red zone turnover as well. Seattle looking to do just about what they did on the previous drive. Good start for their special teams out to the 26-yard line. Good time to remind you guys to drop a like down below if you have not yet already. And vote in the live poll who you think you got to win this one. 19 votes in, 63% believe in the Pittsburgh Steelers at this current time. Jason going to be top 10 at the end of the year. I like that take. See what happens, though. Rodgers looking to close out his first victory as a Pittsburgh Steeler. Handoff is up the middle to Jalen Warren, who picks up an early 5 on this drive. Is he true wide receiver 1, though? Or is that going to go to Cooper Kupp? That's the thing. I don't want to draft a Seattle receiver this year because of inconsistencies at quarterback and the question mark of the role of each wide receiver. Going to be something they'll have to figure out during the offseason. Handoff is to Warren, and he is sent flying backward. A loss of 2 on the play. Ernest Jones got there first, and Tyrese Knight on the cleanup crew. Think he was a Metcalf merchant? That's actually a good take. He fed off of eyes being on somebody else. I don't mind it. Final 4 minutes of the fourth quarter, and a huge play on 3rd and 7. Rodgers looking to find his crosser, and he will do so again, pulling away from the tackles. Robert Woods with a huge first down catch and run. Up to the 43-yard line. Steelers drive continues. No more Steelers country, let's ride. That is Giants Nation in East Rutherford. Rodgers gladly passing the torch to the guys up there. Here's Metcalf down the middle, picks up 10 more. They call it 9, but I think Pittsburgh's happier about that than Seattle potentially. Just have to wait to see what happens on 2nd and 1. Clear out routes for Metcalf, kept the underneath clear for JSN, yeah. Robert Woods might be getting up there in age too. 2nd and 1. Jalen Warren stands alone at the 45-yard line. Play clock down to 5. Rodgers in no hurry. Sets Muth in motion. Got to hurry up here, and they will not get the snap off in time. That's a big penalty. Couldn't snap it, though, because of Muth being in motion. He wasn't set. Would have been an off-balance play. Not sure it would have been a penalty. Because it was just the one motion man. That's still a huge penalty. That is the 3rd penalty today on Pittsburgh, totaling 15 yards, all offensively as well. Rodgers, though, going to check this one down and move the chains regardless. Freiermuth. Once again, which will take us to the 2-minute warning. Motion penalty bingo, there you go. Thunder and 5, probably. Like the Robert Woods comparison for Bucks first round Emeka Egbuka? Yeah, he's going to be nice. And we will hit the 2-minute warning. Pittsburgh looking to close out a close game at home in front of their fans for the first time in 2025. Trying to get up to 500 on the season. Bengals currently lead the division at 1-1 and a victory in the AFC North. Handoff is to Warren with a 4-yard gain to the 43-yard line. Might be in range for Boswell to kick. Not sure they'd take that risk, though. We'll see. Pacers in 5, OKC Celtics leading by 21. They're up by 21 right now. Eek. Did the game just start? Or was it an 8 o'clock tip-off today? Might have been. Seattle takes their first time out. And a high snap handoff is to Cordell Patterson up the middle. He'll pick up 5 more, a huge gain. And this play will decide the ball game. Right here, right now. 8 p.m. tip-off, gotcha. I guess weekends are doing 8. Weekdays are doing 8:30. Maybe not when they're in Indiana, though. Not sure about that. Anyone think Indiana can't come back? I mean, not anymore. First down here will win the ball game for Pittsburgh. And the handoff is to Jalen Warren up the middle, and he did not get there. Whoa. Ernest Jones just came out of nowhere and perhaps saved the game. Whoa. They'll probably kick here. They should go for it, but they will not. On comes Chris Boswell for a 54-yard attempt. Looking to double the lead here for Pittsburgh. On the way, and no good. A rare miss from Chris Boswell, and Seattle takes over down a field goal with prime field position. What is going on in Pittsburgh? Dare I say that in itself might be a Madden moment? Wow. Unreal. They trusted their defense, but they expected Boswell to hit. And what a turn in the tail this could be. Seattle taking over from the 44. Field goal to tie. Touchdown to win, and Darnold seeking the victory up to the 41-yard line. Finds his man. Wow. I mean, this is going to be insane. Tomlin probably would have gone for it on 4th and inches. Probably would have been a fullback dive and would have gotten stuffed. But, yeah. Understanding the mindset, though. Expecting Boswell to be automatic. Make this a 6-point game. Here's Walker on a swing pass. And no lose, too. TJ Watt forced that pass out a little bit behind Walker. Had to readjust and actually made that play worse than what it could have been. All things considered. Not in range yet for Jason Myers. They are getting there, though. Need about 8 more yards for him to be comfortable. Bad day to be a kicker, though, in Pittsburgh. Outside passes knocked away, incomplete. And there is Petey Bishop. 1:13 to go, 3rd and 12 coming up. This place is electric. Wow. Terrible towels are waving. This place is rocking. On a 3rd and 12 from the Pittsburgh 43. Screen pass is set up and caught by Kenneth Walker. Pulling away, and he will pick up 11. They should kick 3 here. I'm surprised Pittsburgh's not taking a timeout, actually. What do you do here if you're Mike McDonald? This is actually a very interesting case, and they will kick. Jason Myers on for the game-tying 49-yard field goal. From the left hash on a bad day for kickers on both ends. It is up, and it is good. And we are tied with under 30 seconds to go from Acrisure Stadium. And you know, one man right now getting off the bench, throwing his helmet on, that has done this time and time again with the resources he is being gifted. Aaron Rodgers. I don't even think we're getting OT. Rodgers is going to win this game. In regulation. Kickoff headed back towards Pittsburgh. Looking for a spark from their special teams here. Under 25 seconds up to the 27-yard line. Rodgers and the Steelers have all 3 timeouts. They were inches away from winning it on their previous drive. Seattle, though, battles back into field goal range. They tied the game up here in the fourth quarter. Thoroughly entertaining finish, actually. Slow start for both teams. We'll see what happens here. Looks like Pittsburgh actually will run the football to Jalen Warren up the middle, and he'll pick up 4. Neither team reaching for a timeout, which will, in fact, take us to overtime. Hope you guys brought some extra popcorn for some bonus football. This one's on the house. And here we go. Both teams get a possession. Second overtime game of the season. Patriots took down the Raiders in the first 27-24. What'll happen here? Here we go. And the coin toss, Seattle will call it out. Both teams will get a possession, though, so long as there is no defensive score. Rodgers and Darnold meeting at midfield. Toss is called here by Seattle. And the Steelers have won the toss, and they will receive the opening kickoff. All right. Here we go. Put 10 on the board. And give both teams the rock. Well, 10-15. I don't know why Madden adds an extra 15 seconds to overtime. Very weird to me. But hey, I guess we'll take it. The one guy that gets tie right now might know something. Kickoff for Jason Myers and overtime underway. Bonus football as the Towels continue to wait. Patterson up to the 30-yard line. Aaron Rodgers getting OT started. 70 yards away from the end zone. Needs a score and a stop. And Seattle needs the reverse order to win this game. Each team has 2 timeouts. All reviews automatically coming from upstairs. Pittsburgh getting overtime started from their own 30-yard line. Aaron Rodgers back to it. Clutch QB down the field, delivers an early first down catch. And again, this is Robert Woods. 16-yard pickup on the opening play of OT. Honestly, would rather lose than tie. Yeah, I actually agree with that in every circumstance. Rodgers back under center. Off the play action here. Firing this one deep downfield, caught by DK Metcalf, the former Seahawk again. Appreciate you together. Just about where Boswell missed his previous one, though. They can't get comfortable. Switching to LSU baseball. Ooh, college baseball. Gotta love it. Metcalf lining up in the slot here. On another 1st and 10, low snap is collected. Rodgers throwing on the run. How did he get that one away? Finds Patterson on a 5-yard pickup. Where does he get the strength to fire a football? Cross body. Outside of his head. The mysteries of Madden. INC would go hard right now. Ooh. Seattle fans would concur. Once again from the empty. Number 8 looking for another marquee drive in his illustrious career. Sideline passes hauled in. And the feet are in fact down for Robert Woods again. Zach Frazier snapped the ball, right? Yeah. I know Pittsburgh has been having center issues for about the longest time now, but they're all good. FSU baseball too. Everyone loving college baseball today. Seahawks force a third down here from the 31 up the middle. Jalen Warren cannot get there. No, he does this time. Gifted that first down yardage. Wow. I highly disagree with that spot. I think we should get a review. I do not think he got there. If he got there now, he got there in regulation. But there is no review. Huge swing of momentum with the officials giving Warren that first down yardage. Rodgers stepping up in the pocket, going to take off again. Got good downfield blocking and picks up 9 more. A-Rod saying ball don't lie. Oh boy. Sold a 4-1 lead in the 9th. That is tragic. Rodgers just doing anything. What's up, Leaky Nose? 9.5 yard pickup. Rodgers back to it down the middle. Finds his target. Bad Freiermuth. Catch number 10. In his 5th year in the NFL. Starting to light it up. Yet to have a consistent quarterback. That poor man. From Ben to Mason to Pickett to whatever the hell. Steelers have it inside the red zone now. First and 10, I formation handoff is to Warren. Good blocking out to the side. And he will crack the 10-yard line. Some entertaining football here. Thought this would be a short stream, but we're back. We are all good to go. Couple of big plays coming up here. 2nd and 7, Rodgers down the middle connecting, and that will be 6 yards picked up for Robert Woods. And guess what we have coming up? You guessed it. Another 3rd and 1. Seems to be the narrative of the game. Winning these short yardage battles. Seattle took one at the end of regulation. Pittsburgh got one on this drive. Heels in the end zone. Needing a stop on 3rd and 1. Handoff is to Warren, and he flips it in the end zone. Look at the athleticism. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. What a play. But we are not done yet. Do not forget the new OT rules. Wow. I mean, that's a pure somersault right there. Unreal. Well, here we go. Extra point for Chris Boswell. And he will make this a 7-point Steeler lead. Yeah, with the 2025 implementation of the new rules, the overtime rules have changed. Both teams are now guaranteed a possession in overtime, even if the first team scores a touchdown. So now here's the question. Seattle must score a touchdown here. If they do score a TD, do they go for 2? Because chances are they won't see the football again. This makes for very interesting scenarios. First things first, though, they got to get one back. Mixed feelings in chat right now. I think you got to go for 2. Seattle taking over. Have to match the Pittsburgh touchdown. And a return up to the 27-yard line. We'll see 1st and 10 for Sam Darnold. What up, BC Gamer? Go for 2 because I hate ties, especially in football. Yeah. I don't think Madden would understand that, though. In real life, though, it is obvious, in my opinion. You got to go for 2. Do I think it'll happen? No, because it's Madden, and we can't have nice things. Steelers score a touchdown, which means Sam Darnold has to respond with a TD of his own. Pocket collapsing, stepping right into open space, and Darnold flying down the sideline. Where are the defensive backs? All the way to the 40. Call it the 39. Not a single Pittsburgh Steeler showed in frame there until he was about at midfield. Did everyone just run a streak there? What in the world? Wow. Terrific start to this drive for Seattle. Looking to get out to a 2-0 start to the season. Check down, caught by Kenneth Walker. Fighting up to the 35-yard line. And a good wrap-up made there by Minkah Fitzpatrick. 5 to go in OT. Midway point. Halfway through overtime. Cooper Kupp in press coverage again. Darnold with the pocket crumbling. Sets his feet, fires this one out of bounds. Incomplete. Should prove interesting if we get a tying touchdown. I mean, if they don't go for 2, I get it now if they score quickly because there's still a lot of time left in OT. They'll probably see the ball back if they get a stop. Still, though, I consider going for 2. That throwaway sets up a 3rd and 6. Once again, it is rocking in Pittsburgh. Darnold down the field, wide open, holding at the 19-yard line. MVS. Seattle breaks open the red zone. And we have more intrigue from Acrisure Stadium. Should bring it, make it a double OT. I cannot do that, unfortunately. Seattle inside the red zone. Darnold looking for the game-tying or game-winning touchdown. Check down is caught by Noah Fant. Just about a gain of 10. 2nd and inches. Ties will be ties. That's just the way it is. I don't think we'll see one here, though. I don't believe so. Seattle threatening a tie game from the 10-yard line. Who will be the target? How about Kenneth Walker up the middle, flying near the end zone and down at the 1. Game-saving touchdown potentially, or tackle made before the touchdown by Deshaun Elliott. Half-yard line. Got to punch it in for Seattle. Taking more time off the clock as well. Could be a big deal. Darnold from the empty here on 1st and goal. From the half-yard line. Cooper Kupp in motion. Darnold again, well protected, flushed out left, fires back to the end zone, and Noah Fant wide open. 1 point away from a tie game. Will they go for 2? What's up, Josiah Anderson? Wow. Darnold with a huge toss to the back corner. What do we do? That play broke down. Darnold had way too much time. Can't blame him for being open. I think you got to go for 2. I think you do. Come on, Madden. Give us the ending we want. They will not. They will kick the point after. Seeking a tie game with 3:11 to go in OT. It's up and good. We are all tied. Again, though, if they get a stop, they get the ball back. I kind of understand. Pittsburgh has been great defensively on these 2-yard scenarios. Obviously, there they weren't, but are you going to get lucky twice in a row? What up, Ethan T? Rodgers and Darnold, 3:11. Both have 2 timeouts. 1 must score. Will we see points? Further than what we have been given. Pittsburgh taking back over. Cordell Patterson on the return up to the 27-yard line. 3:07 to go in regulation. The live poll absolutely popping. 34 votes out there. 59% in favor of Pittsburgh. 38 people in live chat. Hope you guys are enjoying an absolute cross-conference classic right now. Drop a like down below if you have not yet already. Will we see somebody take this game in OT? Next score wins it from Acrisure Stadium. And if nobody scores, we will tie in the next 3 minutes. Handoff here is to Warren. He'll pick up 2. Tackle number 8 by Tyrese Knight. Watch this interception. We might be due. It's getting interception to the goal line flashbacks. I don't blame you. More Seahawks fans probably were as well. Didn't run it that time. Didn't have to worry about it. Rodgers from the empty. 2:36 to go. Extra blitzer coming. Wide open. Freiermuth up the sideline. Got a first down and plenty more. Rodgers over 300 passing. To the 47-yard line. Pittsburgh in prime position to win it now. Kind of want to see a tie, can't lie. Madden will automatically take the game into double OT. I don't do that, because that's not how the rules work. So, Rodgers going to try to get the snap off here. No 2-minute warning in overtime. Handoff is to Jalen Warren, breaking free into field goal range at the 40. And Boswell getting warm on the Pittsburgh sideline. What about us, Tyler? Way too wide open. Lots of love and chat for both teams here today. Putting on great performances. Boswell getting warmed up over on the Steelers sideline. Handoff is to Warren. He'll only find a yard, though. And kind of surprised Seattle not burning a timeout here. Minute 30 to go in OT. What up, Landon Holder? Will Rogers even ponder throwing the football? Keep in mind, Boswell did miss from around 54, I believe, already in this one. Can't get comfortable. They want to get a little bit closer, at least for Chris Boswell. And here goes Jalen Warren left side, and that'll do just the trick with a late marker down as well. This could change a lot, and it's coming back. How far back, though? Wow, DK Metcalf didn't have to do that. That is brutal. Illegal block in the back, another offensive penalty. The fourth today on Pittsburgh. Jalen Warren, though, trying to find some leverage inside. He'll pick up 5 more, and Pittsburgh wants to talk it over. He had no reason for that block in the back right there. Sets up 3rd and 2. We're getting interesting again in Pittsburgh. 1:01 left. Madden, by the way, is going to manage his clock like they're playing double OT. Hope for my sake that they kick a field goal at the end, though. We'll see. 3rd and 2 from the 32. High snap and a handoff is to Patterson, and he will lose 3 yards that time. And here comes Chris Boswell. Like, why would Seattle not take a timeout here, realistically? If Boswell misses again, you're not going to have very much time to respond. We'll see what happens, though. DK had that worst time penalties ever. He must have. On comes Chris Boswell. But the icing is why. This is why they saved the timeout, actually. To ice him, you're right. You are correct. Even still, I would worry about time more than icing. You can't ice a polar bear, as they say. Boswell, historically, the coldest in the business right now. They'll have a shot to win it, though. Missed the game sealer earlier. This one from 52 in overtime for the win in Pittsburgh. It's up, and it is good. And the Pittsburgh Steelers walk it off at home. And a win in week number 2. Huge victory over the Seattle Seahawks, 27-24. What a battle between Sam Darnold and Aaron Rodgers all the way to OT. That was a great game. Truly was a 77-minute stream. That is quite wild, but both of our overtime games, ironically, have finished 27-24 this year, which is pretty cool. But there are the new overtime rules for the first time. There is Aaron Rodgers in a Pittsburgh Steelers jersey for the first time, so a lot of firsts in this one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. We are taking a break tomorrow, and we are back Tuesday with the Rams and Titans. Cam Moore back in action. Don't want to miss the rookie at 8 p.m. on Tuesday. Hope to see you there.